With all the pandemic stress and uncertainty of employment mandates, some parents and students are looking for alternatives in their lives. Well, if you're looking for another option to educate your child, like possibly homeschooling, there's a group of teachers who are willing to help support you in that. Christian Peterson joins me now. He's started a project called Freedom Teachers, and they're already creating a nationwide impact. Christian, thanks so much for being here today. We really appreciate it. So tell us, how did this project Freedom Teachers get started, and what exactly is it?
So Freedom Teachers is an initiative that was started by a small group of teachers that I was connected to. We were seeing an area that um, was needing support, and parents were already reaching out to us in our classrooms and looking for information. And things start with teachers as they do on a regular, just wanting to help parents and students on a general level. And it kind of branched out into something much larger than what we were originally considering. The thought of uh, parents was really with us through this process because we know that what parents are dealing with right now, and we know that there's a lot on their plates, and we think that people really need to know that there's alternatives out there. We are not an alternative replacement for education. We are offering tutoring services basically to parents. The parents that are looking at homeschooling their kids and looking for those alternatives. And we know that there's a lot of teachers out there that are going to be looking for alternatives to supplement their income if they have to make some difficult decisions. And we are trying to connect with as many teachers as we can to be able to support and provide them with what they need to be able to continue to live in whatever capacity that looks like for different people.
Okay, so specifically, this all started because of COVID and because of the restrictions. And are we talking masking, vaccinations, anything that the parents maybe aren't agreeing with that their kids are kind of struggling with in school?
Yeah, there's a variety of reasons why parents are looking at homeschooling their kids. I think part of it is masking. We've had a massive outreach from parents who have kids that are pre-kindergarten and kindergarten. Obviously, those kids have experienced COVID for most of their education lives, and the parents are very frustrated with masking. And so they are looking for alternatives. And obviously, the big outreach for teachers is that teachers don't know that there's people who are working to support them, and they don't know that there's alternatives. And teachers are trying to um, create their own alternatives and tutoring supports. But basically, what we are looking to do is connect everyone, whether they are going through our program specifically or not. We want to connect people, and we've been connected with people from British Columbia all the way to Nova Scotia. And some people want to connect through an online platform. Some people are looking for a common in-person alternative that they can do, and they want to connect with other people. And so basically, we are taking as much information as we can from as many people as we can. And at the very least, we are trying very, very hard to get people connected with the resources that they need to be able to support themselves and make the decisions that they think are best for their families. And that's parents and teachers.
Right. Okay. Now, you yourself are a teacher. We can't identify your location or your school district or anything like that. But have you basically quit your job and are doing this full time now from your home, or are you still teaching in a school and then you're doing this on the side?
We're still teaching. Everyone that's involved in what's happening is doing what we can with the time and the opportunity that we have right now. Um, it's very long days for some people trying to connect. And I'm connected with a lot of people who are teaching and then going home and working, 5, 6 hours in the evenings to make this happen. It looks different for everyone, but there are people that we are connected to that are willing to give as much as they can to commit to supporting parents and students.
Okay. So since this has started, who've been the types of people who have been reaching out to you?
We've had It's been really crazy. We've had all kinds of people reaching out. We've had people who are brand new teachers who are really concerned about the current environment and already experiencing burnout from the amount of expectation for new teachers that are coming in. And we've also been contacted by teachers that have been teaching for 35 years and are retired, and they want to now contact us and do something and get involved and come out of retirement and start fresh. And then we've also had people who are really interested in supporting the project or initiative side of what we're doing. So people who are in HR, people who are in IT and are familiar with website design and communications and all kinds of different things. We've had teachers who are, CTF teachers that are wondering if there's options to be able to teach kids, how to build things and create things, and music teachers. And everyone wants to know what they can do to help make this a possibility and a reality for everyone involved.
Okay, so what have been some of the concerns of other teachers that you're talking to?
I think the biggest concern for parents and teachers is obviously the mental health and well-being of the kids, parents' kids. That's been like first and foremost through this whole experience for everyone, and we've seen teachers have seen firsthand the impact of students having to shift between online and offline, and we know how hard it is on students. And I have been connected, and I have a lot of people reaching out to me that are mental health and well-being experts that want to participate in whatever this looks like from our initiative, and how they can connect with students to help support the mental health and well-being on an in-person or video call or online, whatever it looks like. They want to be connected because they also feel a calling to do or participate in something that is going to go direct to students and be able to support them in this.
Yeah, of course.
I've had some parents who have contacted me over concerns over like potential crumbling of infrastructure with the province, and what things are going to look like when teachers leave the system and AHS workers leave the system, and police and firefighters and everyone who's taking these risks or looking at alternatives. It's a big concern for people to not understand or not know what the potential ramifications of that might be for us on a larger scale.
Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe tell us a little bit about this journey. Where were you 4 weeks ago compared to now?
Things have been happening really quickly. 4 months ago, I was doing distance learning, and I think I was kind of at a point where a lot of teachers are right now. There was a lot of fear about what might be happening. I was kind of in my classroom, door closed, head down, not voicing opinions and concerns, which is something that a lot of people are afraid to do right now. I was almost self-isolating myself. And I think, like everyone else, I was just waiting to see what the next steps were going to be, waiting for guidance, waiting to know what was supposed to happen and what my role was going to be in that. And the more I talked to other people, and the more I reflected on what I needed to do and what our purpose should be, I started to realize that there was work that needed to be done. There were things that needed to happen. There were people that needed to be connected that don't have the resources and don't have the connections and don't have the people to reach out to. I never thought that, like even a month ago, if you had asked me a month ago if I would do a public interview to talk about what's happening or my opinions, like I would have told you you're crazy. It's not safe to do stuff like this. But at some point, I think collectively we need to realize that there's a higher purpose. There's a reasoning behind what's happening. And as teachers, we can sit in our class with our heads down and we can wait for someone else to come along and start something, or we can kind of pick up the bricks ourselves and start to build something. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're starting.
Okay. So when did Freedom's Teachers actually start?
About 6 weeks ago.
Oh, that's amazing. And how many students would you say you have?
I would say right now we have maybe 100 students that are interested from K to 9. We have probably more teachers that are looking for support right now than we do parents and students. And I think that something that parents need to realize, and something that is really important, is that parents have a lot of power in what's happening. They have a lot of decision making ability, and that they aren't trapped in a specific situation, or that they don't have options. I was in our Telegram group yesterday. There was someone who posted, a parent, and they said that they were at their parent council meeting at their school, and in the middle of the parent council meeting, they stood up and shouted our name, and then they emailed all of their kids' teachers to let them know that there's initiative out there and there's things that are happening. And to hear a parent, to hear anybody say that they're willing to stand up and announce that there are alternatives like that, it's just so unheard of right now in this moment, that I really feel like more people need to be doing stuff like that, because that is very empowering and it's very exciting.
Right. Well, that's amazing, especially because it's only been like 6 weeks, like you said, and the word's already getting out there. So, how do people get in touch with you if they're interested in pulling their kids out of the school system? I guess essentially is what it is, and being homeschooled.
So we have we're open on, like, we're accessible on all of our social media platforms right now. We're building out a website. Most of our contact has been made through our Facebook group. It's just Freedom Teachers, and then we have contacts through there where people are contacting us directly through our email. So our email is just freedomteachersltd@gmail.com. We also have a Proton mail of the same name, but um, mostly we're having parents contact us through those avenues, and then we are sending out information to as many people as we can as well. And we're also sending out information about what we're doing through our social media platforms.
That's amazing. And what are you hearing from parents about how their students are doing?
Well, we haven't officially started yet, but we are getting a lot of feedback from parents, all positive. People have a lot of questions, and we have a lot of information. And there's not one question that has been asked to us yet that we haven't been able to provide a prepared answer for, because we've prepared for almost every single possibility that we can. Parents are just very happy that there's an alternative out there, um, in terms of if they want to homeschool their kids and they're not familiar with the curriculum or what to do. We can connect them. If they want to homeschool their kids and they want, to be connected with other parents, we can connect them. We're just trying to build a large community across the province and across the country, hopefully, that is connected, so that people don't feel like they're alone, because no one should feel alone, the way things are right now. And this is a really good opportunity through education to connect people through a common um, collective.
That's amazing. So it's a huge support system. If you want to stay home and teach your kid yourself, you've got a support system of teachers that you can go to for resources, and other parents as well to kind of lean on. That's essentially what this is. So
Exactly.
when is it going to actually start?
Well, it's going to be dependent on the situation for teachers. A lot of teachers are, like, all of our teachers really basically are teaching right now still. We are waiting to see what the landscape looks like for teachers in the coming months. There are also people who are interested in pursuing um, an online or in-person presence, or supporting teachers and parents as mandates roll out further, whatever those mandates are. People are making decisions based on the information, and I would say that there are teachers out there who aren't 100% dependent on waiting for the mandates that are coming down the pipe in December to make a decision about whether they want to be a part of this or not, because we can't always choose the timing. We just have to prepare for it. And ultimately, we have to make decisions for parents. And so we're trying our best to provide and plan for when that's going to be for parents. And we know when that crucial time for parents is going to be. And that is when we are planning for curriculum rollout and connecting with parents and teachers.
Well, Christian Peterson, thank you so much for coming on today and for sharing this information with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.